Hi and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the Car Boot Crafter, and I'm in the craft room today because I'm making some gifts. Some of these will go to people whose birthdays are coming up, and some of them I might just put to one side for Christmas as little stocking fillers. So what it is it's a little notebook and a box to go with it, and the box can hold two, possibly three, but certainly two little notebooks, cute little notebooks. And yeah, I just think they're really cute. So what you'll need is some card that measures 8 and 3/4 by 6 and 1/4. So I've got my template here with how to make the box. So yeah, so 8 and 3/4 by 6 and 1/4 for the box. And for the notebook, this is let me get my measuring tape. So that's 6 by 4. Yeah, 6 by 4. And then some paper. This is just scrap copy paper, which I've cut down to 6 by 4 as well. So that's those, and those are the boxes. So I'll pop this to one side and we'll get into making that in a bit. But first of all, let's make the little box to go with it. So I need my scoreboard. Let's pop that in there. And I need my scorer. So on the long, that's the short edge at the top. So you're going to score at 1/4 and then at 1 inch. Okay, so 1/4 and 1 inch, and you know I'm going to just flip it over and do it on the other side as well. So 1/4 and 1 inch, and then I like to turn it and do it on the other side at 1/4 and again at 1 inch. That way, if my paper's ever so slightly out, then these are still exactly the same. These scores are, it's whatever is out will be in the middle bit there. So but if you want to, you can score at 1/4, at 1 inch, and then at 5 and 1/4 and at 6. Okay, then turn it on the long side and you're going to score at 2 inches and then at 2 and 3/4. Flip that over and do the same, 2 inches and 2 and 3/4, and again all the way round like that at 2 inch and at 2 and 3/4. Flip it over and do that again, 2 inch and 2 and 3/4. So I can pop that away. There we go. So now you've got some lines all the way down here. What you're going to do is decide which is your top and your bottom. Doesn't really matter on this one because it's non-directional really, so it doesn't really matter. But if you have got directional paper, you'll have to consider which is going to be the top and which is going to be my bottom. So what we want to do is to remove this corner here. So you've got your 1/4 of an inch here, you've got your 1 inch here, so you're going to remove both of those, and at that 2 inch and that 2 and 3/4 that we did, and you're going to do that on both sides and remove the score line completely. So you've removed that. So there's my, get my pencil, I can show you. I'll bring that back in so you can see. So there's my 1/4 of an inch, there's my 2 inch line, and there's the 2 inch and the 2 and 3/4, the 1/4 inch line and the 1 inch line. So we're cutting down that 1 inch line and cutting across to meet that at the 2 and 3/4 line. So we've removed that, and we're going to do the same on this side. So coming in on the 2 3/4 score, just to where that meets that 1-inch score that we did, going all the way down to meet that cut that we've just made. So I can get rid of those. And then you've got exactly the same down here, but we're going to cut down the bottom. This is going to be the bit that folds up to make our box. That will come across like that. This is going to be cut slightly different. So you'll come down, so there's the 2-inch score line there, and then you've got your 2 3/4 score line there. So you're going to come in at the 2 3/4 score line, going across that 1/4 inch score line, and then you're going to stop at that 1-inch line there, like that. So I'll show it on here. So there's the 1/4 inch score line there, and you've gone all the way to that 1-inch score line there, and we're going to make a little tab of that. Okay, so I'm going to come in on the 2-inch score line, and then I'm going to turn it and come in down that 2-inch score line until I meet that first cut, like that, and remove that. And then on this little tab, you don't have to do this, but I do. I just want to remove that little 1/4 inch score line there that we did. So I've got this little tab now that's going to help with gluing in a minute. And I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. So I'm coming in on the 2 3/4 line, going across to that second line that goes across, doing the same on this one, then coming down on this 1-inch score line to the first cut, like that. And then I'm just going to take that little 1/4 inch score line off, like that. That lot can go in the bin, and then I can bring in my scoring tool and just fold and burnish on all of those score lines like that. Let's bring that 1/4 inch in, and there, turn it round and do this side as well, like that. And then just got the top bit to do, like that. Okay, so this bit with the tabs, I don't know why I can't say tabs, why I keep saying tags. Just going to take a little bit off that, just to help with folding that up. So these are going to then come in like that to create our box, like that, and then this bit is going to come down like that, and that's going to be the excuse me, that's going to be the flap. Okay, let's open it up a little bit. This is the time now, because this is the flap bit. I'll bring that back. That's the flap bit. So if you wanted to, you can decorate across that tag there with I don't know, some fancy edges, or some frilly lace, or whatever you want to. I'm just going to punch those corners for now. There we go. So I've just punched those corners like that, and now I'm going to bring my glue in. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on both of these tags, like that. I'm not going to put too much on. I want it to grab. And then I want to put a little bit on here, just a little bit, and I'm not coming all the way up because this only comes up part of the way. And I'll do the same on this side, just a little bit of glue coming about halfway up. Don't want to go any further than that. And then bring that all together. So you want to bring these tags up and create a nice square corner there, like that, on both sides. So that's nicely squared off. And then bring that over and square all of that off as well. So I'm going to use one of these. Now these are dressmaking ones. I'm still going to use them just to hold that steady while the glue just catches. And the same on this side. Just push that all together and get these little, and you can use whatever pegs or whatever you've got to hand really. And that's exactly why I'm using these, because they are right in front of me. Just a bit fiddly at times. Just want to make sure that's nice and straight on there. I'm going to pop that over there out of the way. There's my template, just so you've got it. Now I did make a mistake and I cut that tab the wrong way. It should have been this way, like that. But there you've got your 2 inch, 2 3/4, 1/4 of an inch, 1 inch, and that creates your little box. The same as I've just done. Okay, pop that out the way and let's make the book. So you have a piece, I'm using a matching piece of card, and this measures 6 by 4, and I've got some copy paper that again I've cut to 6 by 4 inch. Let me put the lid on this and put it away. 6 by 4 inches, but you know, you can, I think I've used about 5 sheets to create these. So I think I've got two pieces of that size from each piece of copy paper, and you can use as many as you like, so you can make these as thick or as thin as you like. So I'm going to what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to have it going that way. I've already done one which folded that way, but I'm going to do this one going this way, just to be a bit different. So fold it in half and use your bone folder. So you've got the cover. Then grab your copy paper and fold that in half as well. Now when you fold it, what happens, because the outside one has got further to go because it's wrapping around all the others, you get this kind of stacked look, so it comes out a little bit, but we're going to cut those, so don't worry about those too much. Line that all up, and again use your bone folder and crease that all down, so we've got some nice creases going through there. So I don't know whether you're going to see because of it being white, but you've got that going on there. So before I do anything about that, I'm just going to pop it in there. So, and you can see it sticks out a bit, but that's okay. We're going to deal with that in a minute. So while it's in there, I'm just going to reinforce that crease a little bit more on the copy paper and the cover. And then I'm now going to pin it using I'm going to pinch these back now because that glue should have grabbed. So pushing your copy paper right into the crease of your cover, and then use your whatever you've got to hand to just hold it like that. So now we know that that is held really well into that crease. I'm going to grab my very fancy pokey tool and I'm going to push through all my copy paper and the cover right in the middle. So I'm just doing it by eye measure if you want to. So there's about the middle, and I'm just going to push through. I'm going to take my time and gently push through. So I've gone all the way through, and then I'm going to come up, going down about 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to push through on there as well. Take your time and push through. If you've got, I mean, I could put this onto something and push down, but it's going through okay. So I've done another one, and what I want to do is come about the same distance between those two to this side. So I'm just by eyeing it, but if you feel you need then do measure. So pushing through, giving it a bit of a wiggle, and then it comes all the way through like that. I do like to push it all the way through just to make sure those holes are nice and big enough for me to then get my needle and thread through. Okay, I'm going to pop that back on there, and I've got some thread. Now this I ordered online. I don't know whether it's a particular trade name or what have you. I just googled book thread, and what you do is you take your needle. So I've threaded it onto my needle as if I was sewing. So you go through the middle one, and I go from the inside out. You can go outside in if you want. It's totally choice, totally preference. So you go through and you leave a little bit hanging out. So you need a little bit left in the inside. Come out and go in then one or the other of these holes. It doesn't matter which one. And come through. Oh, made that hole big enough that it just fell out. There you go. So, and pull through. Then what you do is you go all the way to the top one and go through the top one. So don't go back through the middle one, go through the other end like that and pull through. And then you're going to come back through that middle one. But what you're going to do is, so I don't know whether you can see, so my thread is this side and I'm holding it there. That thread that I've just done, going from there to the top, I'm going to pull up and hold, and I'm going to push through again with my pin. If I can see where I'm going. There we go. And pull that through. When you've done that, you can take it off the needle. And what you then have is, you have your thread either side of this middle piece, this middle bit of thread, and then when you pull it tight, you then knot it, so a nice box knot, and what you're doing is you're tying it across this one. So you've got your thread either side and you're tying it across, and that way your thread doesn't pull back through this loop, and it makes your little notebook much more secure. You can cut that away and take off your clips. Fold that back over, and you've still got this bit going on, haven't you? You've still got the white from the copy paper showing. So what I do is I grab my pencil and I just run a pencil line down there. I'm on the copy paper, but I'm using the cover as a guide for my pencil line. Actually, if I do it that side, it might look a bit, it might be easier for you to see. So just run your pencil down there using your cover like a ruler, really. So the cover's there and you're running your pencil against that, but you're drawing onto your copy paper. So now you can see I've got a line. So what I do is I'm going to bring my cover, so I've got both sides of the cover like that. I'm going to bring it back so that they're out the way. Move my pin so that's out the way, and then I've got a nice sharp blade there, and I've got my metal ruler, and I'm going to use this now to score down this side of that line. So I'm not going to score on the line, I'm going to score just above it. So hopefully you can see I've got a tiny little, not even 1/16 of an inch gap between the edge of this ruler here and that pencil line. And that tells me that if I cut along that line now, it's going to be hidden by the cover. So I'm just going to use my blade and gently draw it down, and straight away it starts to cut off those extra bits that we don't need. Just do it firm, don't push too hard, just firm, and it'll just all keep popping off just like that. As long as you've got a good sharp blade, makes it so much easier to do. Like that, and keep going so you're all the way through, almost there. And there we go. So that was nice and easy. Takes a little time, but if you take your time, you get a much better finish. So when I then come back and fold my cover round, you can see now that my papers sit back just ever so slightly from the edge there. Okay, so I'll pop those away. I want to pop that on there because I don't want to risk cutting myself. So that's a very sharp one. I have got some corner rounders. Now these are really good strong corner rounders, so I'm going to use the one here, but you can use your regular ones, you know, these sorts, or your you know, the was it X-cut ones, whichever ones. It just, with this, although I'm taking my time with it and only doing the cover at the moment, when I come to doing the copy paper, I can do much more at a time. So there's my middle. I'm going to do half at a time. Move that out the way, and this should go through. Yeah, there we go. That's gone through, and like that, and it just gives it a much nicer finish with your notebook. Let me do this side next. Everything to one side so it's out the way, and there we go. And you can get the same results with any of the others. It's just that it'll take a little bit longer. You may be able to do 3 or 4 pieces at a time. Last thing, just grabbing my ink, and I'm just going to ink there. I don't want the papers to be too much on show. Not papers, the thread that I used. So all the way round both sides, just gives it a bit of a finish. I may even come back and do some fussy cutting. So I've got lots of scraps of paper left, and do some fussy cutting and give us something on the front there. So there's the one, there's the other one I've already done. So that's why I've done one that way and one that way, so that we've got two different notebooks. This is my little box, so these should fit in there nicely. Yeah, oh, I could definitely get a third in there, maybe even a fourth, but definitely a third I can get in there. And you can leave it like that, or you can, as I'm going to do, I'm going to add some thread. So let's pop those to one side. So I've got myself a little, I call them split pins. That's what we call them at work, or used to call them at work. And I'm just going to punch a hole in the middle. So there's my box. So this piece here. So, and I'm just by eyeing it again, like that. Let's pop that in there. This is quite a big one. I think what I will do is add a strip of paper on there. Right, where are my scraps? There they are. So I've got some scraps. So I might put, in fact I will put a piece in there. Let me grab my trimmer. With me thinking on the feet again. So that is, of course that's 4 inches. So I'm going to go slightly less than 4 inches. I think I'm going to go to 4 1/4. Let's see if that will work. Yep. Actually, I'm going to take slightly slither more off. The reason being, because I've done that fancy corner and I don't want to go over it. So that, yeah, that will fit on there beautifully. So let's get some glue on there, and this will cover up that split pin. We don't want that to be seen from the inside, do we? Don't need to done a bit of ugliness when we've just spent ages making a pretty notebook and box. And I'm going to use my clips to hold it, because the glue doesn't always grab around the split pin, does it? So hopefully my pins will hold that. While I now look for, right, so I've got some baker's twine. Let's get that baker's twine, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie it around the split pin on this side. Now let's tie that, just a couple of box knots on there. Oh, more fingers and thumbs now. Just a simple box knot, just to hold it on there, and another one just to hold that. And if you put it nice and tight, it should hide underneath the pin. Let's cut this piece off, don't need that. Hopefully those are grabbing, or have grabbed, like that. Let's put our notebooks in, like that. And then once, twice, 3 times. And I'm going to cut that off there, because I might come back and tie a little charm on there if I can find one. So there you go, there's your cute little box, and when we open it up we have two sweet little notebooks inside that you can use for whatever you want to write, whatever you want, even a little bit of bullet journaling or note taking or diary. Right, well, I hope you like that idea. I saw something, actually came because I saw something very, very similar to this in the local stationery shop, and I thought, as always, I thought I could make that. So there you go, a cute little handbag gift to friends or family, or even if you did it in Christmas papers, a Christmas gift as well. So there you go, hope you like the idea, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, bye for now.